What's up guys, Rafael iRacing here, and I'm here today to bring you another race in my custom setup GTP series. Now this race was pretty interesting. It was a wet race at Spa, which usually means carnage will occur. But not only was it a wet race, we made the same mistake in both qualifying laps and the first lap of the race. I may have had my brake bias too far backwards and locked up the rears in every single lap on the first turn. So, as you will see later on in the video, that kind of put us in the back of the mix, but it led to an amazing race and at an amazing battle. I didn't gain any I rating in this race, but sometimes races like this is pretty nice to have. You might not gain I rating, but you have very close racing. You have to make good strategy calls, and it felt like you're really living in the moment. So, hopefully you enjoy this race and we'll get right into it.
Let's get ready to go out there and have a solid day today.
Alright, let's have a solid day, he says. And that's exactly what we're going to try to do here as we approach the final chicane, waiting on the leader to get this race on the way. Spa in the wet is absolutely tricky. And we're going, the leader is going, so we have a decent start. There's a guy in the wall and we just avoid all of the carnage. Wow. It hasn't even been like more than 2 seconds after the race start. And of course, like I said in the intro, we braked for the first turn and oh my gosh, we dropped the rears again. This happened in both qualifying laps and I didn't learn from it. So we got passed by all the LMP2s, all of the GT3s. We had absolutely nowhere to go, and you can see the meatballs popping up on the timing screens. So we really just have to cut through this set of GT3 traffic in the wet on cold tires. It's really not ideal, but anything can happen in a wet race, and especially at Spa. One thing that's actually pretty cool about this race is that it's not raining anymore. All of the water that you see on the windshield is actually spray from the cars ahead. It's not really raining anymore. So this race is going to be drying up as we progress through, and that really opens up a lot of opportunities. There could be an opportunity for going onto the slicks later on. Strategy can play a role. We're just really trying to get our head down. As you can see, carnage is everywhere. Now, we are running P7 currently, and you see Rampton Sassani up here, 17.7 seconds ahead in 6th place. That's going to be our goal for this race. We've already butchered it in turn 1. We've got a lot of time to make up. Our goal is to get Rampton. So, with that, we put our head down. We're just going to keep putting in the laps, do the best we can. And I actually learn at this point of the race to move my brake bias forward. If you're in the wet, it's generally better to move your brake bias rear, but in this case, I just found it a lot better to move it forward a little bit. Turn 1 has been absolutely horrible, but you can see we are catching 4 seconds on Rampton on that last lap. I don't know if he had a mistake, if he's just not comfortable in the rain, but we are catching rapidly. We've caught up to the back of some LMP2s here. You see Rampton is now 6.2 seconds ahead. We have really caught ground. We're about 15 minutes into this race, and the spray is still a factor, the traffic is still a factor, but we're hunting down Rampton. I mean, just look at the amount of spray and danger in this race. We're going up Eau Rouge and Radion here. Absolutely slippery corner. If you make a mistake on this corner, your entire race is over. You're in the wall, you're wrecked out, everything is done. I need to clear this LMP2. I'm chasing down Rampton. I'm gonna pass him on the straight, no issues at all. We've got one more LMP2 to clear. So as we tiptoe our way around the track while pushing as much as we can, we get past the final LMP2 and we can see Rampton. Rampton's in our sights. I see him. He's 1.6 ahead. I smell blood. And just as I was getting confident, Rampton actually gets a little bit nervous. He drops it on the brakes, goes straight on, and misses the final chicane. Now we're right up to him. We are about to battle for this position. It's funny because Rampton was really hard to catch, but once I did catch him, he turned into a complete F1 driver. He was so hard to pass, it was unbelievable. But I was committed, I was determined, and you will see what goes on in this battle. We're going to be chasing him down, going up Eau Rouge in the spray. This is for position. Something that's pretty cool in the rain is that you'll see the different lines that different drivers will take. We've got a big slipstream coming down this straight, so we should be able to get alongside, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So we are just going to brake a little bit early, try to carry more speed in the corner, and hopefully get a little bit closer later on in the lap. Coming through this right-hander, you can see the different types of lines that we choose. I'm really close now. Maybe I can make a move happen here, and just absolutely treacherous weather. We go wide onto the paint, so rejoining, being super careful not to spin the car as we go down into no name here. As you can see, Rampton is actually getting away from us. He's pulled away because of a little mistake in the paint, but this is a multi-class race. You can see the traffic ahead. GT3s will still play a role. It can either work in our favor or work against us. There you can see he maybe had a little bit of a weird line that he had to lift a little bit in the rain, but we are right back up on him. We are trying to get this move done. And he brakes early, and I actually don't mean to go for this. You can see I barely had control of my car. It was a little bit of a dive bomb. It happened. He's not happy about it. He's blinking his lights. He's flashing us. He's not accepting that. But it was a pretty good move. I mean, he broke early. There was a gap, and I just put my car in the gap. A little bit unintentional of a thing, but it was a clean, and there was no contact. So here we go, going into the final chicane. I'm thinking I can pull away, but I have this huge Tokyo Drift type slide through the chicane, and he is back on us. This battle is not over. I'm going to try to defend this position and just pull away. Now, Rampton here returns the dive bomb favor and just absolutely sends it and takes back the position. We still have work to do. This is crazy. He is pulling on us. We have to redo our overtake. We're going to go up Eau Rouge. This weather is crazy. And you can see just completely fighting for traction. GT3 in the way. Is he going to get into any issues? It looks like the GT3 has decided to pull off into the grass for some reason, but that is what it is. Trying to peek out so I can just see a little bit better, turn on the wipers, and Rampton is back in the lead. He's back on the run from us. We're on the chase. We're going after him. One thing I am thinking about while chasing down Rampton is how the pit stops will work. You can see Rampton's going wide. I think his tires are starting to go. The track is starting to dry up. The sun is peeking out and a dry line is forming. So I'm thinking maybe we can do something interesting, get him in the pit stops if we can't get him on track. But for now, we're just really feeling the grip. I'm actually going offline to cool my tires because there's a pretty prominent dry line forming. Now, he's currently making his way through GT3 traffic. We get a little bit held up there, but nothing too serious. We are still gaining from him. We're going to fast forward a little bit until we get to the next lap in the final chicane. So here we are starting our next lap. This is lap 11. There's 20 minutes left. Still a ways to go, and Rampton is defending, so he definitely feels the pressure. He's checking his mirrors out. There's GT3 traffic. We want to clear this guy before Eau Rouge and Radion because that would be brutal. Here we go, we're drafting up. We're much closer this time, actually. He is pretty slow going up Eau Rouge, and here we go. We are in serious slipstream range now. We should have enough overspeed pulling out to the outside. Just slight overspeed on Rampton here, and we brake just fractionally later. Oh my gosh. Incredible move on the outside. We pass Rampton, and this was a moment. I was so hype after this overtake, I was not going to let him retake the lead. You can see we even pulled a 1 second gap right after we overtook him. We're not playing around this time. We're going to try to get as far away from him as possible. Now it's really a race between us and the track. The track is drying up. We have to start thinking about our pit stop. It looks like Felix ahead is actually going to be pitting soon, and the track is lightly wet with 18 minutes to go. So with this sunlight, I think that it's going to dry up pretty significantly, and Felix here, we actually caught up to him after his pit stop. Maybe we can pull something off and jump him in the pits, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to do that. And you can just see from the spray, this track does not look very lightly wet. It actually looks way too wet for slicks. I know iRacing has a little bit of a visual bug going on right now, but from feel, it is still too wet for slicks.
Hit this time. Wave them off.
I was here thinking maybe we go on a new set of wet tires. You'll see me actually debating going between a new set of wets or just sticking it out on this drying track on the current wets that we have. The problem is the wets that we have, they are burned up. They are no longer providing much grip. So we ended up just going that route. We're not switching tires. We're staying on the old wets, and we're going to see if we can stay in front of Rampton. Because remember, our goal is to finish P6 right now. Finish in front of Rampton. Felix is a little bit of a stretch goal. He's way ahead of us after the pit stop. It's probably not going to happen. We're just trying to stay ahead of Rampton. And you can see here how difficult it is to actually drive these old wet tires that have been through an entire whole stint, and it's not providing much grip. The braking zones are becoming very difficult. The track, you can tell, it's just visually a lot drier. Despite what any of the spray shows, the track is actually very dry, and again, look at how hard these conditions are. The car will not slow down, so we make a pretty big mistake there. The guy behind is also being shown the yellow flag. Everyone is struggling. It's the same for everyone. Everyone is struggling. Nobody took the risk on slick tires, so it's just a straight up race to the end on who can survive these overheated wet tires. We're coming across some LMP2s, and we drop it. The tires were not stopping the car, and you can see Rampton is catching up, but he also goes deep. This is crazy. I actually waited because I didn't want to unsafely rejoin and crash him out, but he makes a mistake, ends up rejoining in front of us, and it is a one-lap shootout to the end of the race. This is white flag. He got past us. We both made a mistake, and I am going to do everything I can to get my position back. We are going to go full push here. You can see me changing my deployment to attack. We're here to attack him. We're going up Eau Rouge and Radion. You know how slippery this can be. Nobody has grip right now, and it's just going to be a straight up 1v1 on the last lap. It seems like we have a really good slipstream coming down this straight here. We're going to go on the outside. Can we do what we did earlier to Remsen's? Braking really late, and the tires just cannot do it. Again, we make a mistake. It's not looking good for us on the last lap, but again, anything can happen. There is still traffic. The track is still wet, and the tires are worn. You can see Rampton here is having an awful time trying to keep his car on track. We're also having problems just sliding around, really struggling for traction here, but this is the last lap. We are going to put caution to the wind and just fully send it. So here we go, trying to be as neat, tidy as possible, get as much grip as possible. We're coming around this bend right here. There's some traffic ahead. This could work in our favor. Braking on the wet line, trying to just keep these tires cool so we can really push on the last sector here. This Corvette is actually might play a role, but it looks like Rampton just sends it on him. I mean, that's the right thing to do. He did not get held up. He's making all the right decisions right now, and we are just trying to get closer. We're coming around here. It looks like there's no more traffic that will get in the way. It's a straight up 1v1. The last chicane is coming up. Can we do it? We both made a mistake in the chicane on the last lap. Let's see if we'll actually make a mistake on this one. I go wide, but I don't care. I keep it pinned, and We both make it through the chicane. No one makes a mistake. We close the gap up on the last corner, but unfortunately not enough. Fair play to Rampton. We made the mistake. He got in front. He also made a mistake, but he happened to stay in front, and you can see just how horrible these conditions are. I brake at the end of the race and spit out again. So yeah,
Good job, guys.
with
Good job,
that,
everybody.
I hope you
Right,
enjoyed that
hey,
race.
guys.
We lost 30 I rating, lost 0.14 safety rating, but honestly, I'm very happy with the results. I'll take a good race over an I rating gain, so I'm very happy with the results. If you like this race, please remember to like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.